We have the 7 deadly sins: pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, sloth. But first, let's talk about pride. Do you know what made the devil, the devil? It wasn't hate. It wasn't anger. It was pride. The same pride that still hides in human hearts today. Let me tell you how it all began. In the beginning, there was no war, no pain, no evil. Only light, beauty, and perfect harmony in the presence of God. At the heart of heaven stood a magnificent angel. His name was Lucifer. His name meant light-bringer. He was perfect in beauty, full of wisdom, and one of God's highest creations. Ezekiel 28 verses 12 to 15 says, "You were the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. You were on the holy mount of God. You were blameless in your ways from the day you were created." But Lucifer began to admire his own beauty more than the one who created him. His heart lifted. His eyes turned inward. He no longer wanted to reflect God's glory, he wanted to take it. Ezekiel 28 verse 17. Your heart became proud on account of your beauty, and you corrupted your wisdom because of your splendor. Pride was born, the first sin. Not on earth, but in heaven. Lucifer wasn't content to serve. He wanted to rule. He said in his heart. Isaiah 14 verses 13 to 14. I will ascend to heaven, I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will make myself like the Most High. He wanted the throne. He wanted to be God. But no one can take God's glory. And no one can defeat him. Lucifer and the angels who followed him were cast out of heaven. Open book Luke 10 verse 18. I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. Revelation 12 verse 9. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. And now, that same pride whispers to us. You don't need God. You can be your own God. Do what you want. Follow no one. The first sin wasn't murder or theft. It was pride. Pride turned an angel into a devil. Pride began the war between heaven and hell. And pride still destroys lives today. Before we talk about what pride looks like in your life, remember this: it was pride that made Satan fall. But it is humility that lifts us up again. James 4 verse 6. God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. The wisest men in the Bible didn't just warn against pride. They exposed it. They overcame it. And they pointed us to the only cure that works. Solomon, the wisest man to ever live, didn't just observe people. He saw their hearts. And in Proverbs 16 verse 18, he wrote, Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. What did he mean? He meant pride is always the first crack in the wall. The beginning of the fall, long before anyone notices. Solomon had everything: riches, women, fame, power. And yet he knew, pride is blinding. It convinces you you're invincible, right before everything crumbles. If you feel yourself saying, I don't need anyone. Or, no one can correct me. That's not strength. That's pride, and pride always ends with pain. Jesus, the Son of God, the one person who had every right to be proud, chose to kneel. In John 13, he washed his disciples' feet. And in Matthew 23 verse 12, he said, Whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. Jesus didn't just preach humility. He lived it. And he showed us something powerful. Pride separates you from people, but humility draws you closer to God. True power isn't shown by how many people bow to you, but how many you're willing to serve. Paul was once full of pride. A Pharisee. A law expert. A persecutor of Christians. But God broke him, not to destroy him, but to rebuild him into something humble and holy. In Romans 12 verse 3, Paul warns. Do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment. Paul learned that pride makes us think we're better than others. Even when we're blind to our own flaws. The opposite of pride isn't insecurity. It's honesty, about who we are, who we're not. And how much we need God every single day. Pride disconnects us. From people. From wisdom. From God. It turns correction into insult. Advice into attack. And friendship into competition. Pride isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, polite, and respectful. But it refuses to say, I was wrong. Or, I need help. Or even, I'm sorry. Ask God to search your heart, Psalm 139 verse 23. Search me, O God, and show me any pride that hides within. God doesn't expose pride to shame you. He exposes it to heal you. Invite correction. A prideful person fears being corrected. A humble one grows from it. Practice serving quietly. Do something kind with no spotlight, no praise, no post. That's when your heart gets stronger. Celebrate others. Pride hates others winning. But humility claps even when it's not your turn. Remember the cross. Jesus died for your sins, not your self-image. At the cross, we're all equal. All broken. All loved. Pride is heavy. It keeps you stuck. But the moment you let it go, you begin to rise. The wisest men in the Bible didn't warn us out of judgment. They warned us out of love. Because they knew that real strength isn't found in pride. It's found in humility. So I'll ask you. Where is pride hiding in your life today? And what's one thing you'll do this week to walk in humility?